Hey guys, welcome to Lobos Entertainment. My name is Ricardo, and today I wanted to talk about some of the stuff I have on my BMW 330. So I got a couple comments in my videos asking questions about my E46, especially since I installed the M50 intake manifold. So I just want to go over all the mods that I did to the car. I have my list here, and tell them my opinions about some of the stuff I did to the car. So we're gonna talk about engine mods. First thing first. So obviously, as I did the M50 intake manifold. In my opinion, the M50 intake manifold is pretty good. Low in torque, it's there, but not so much. But you get most of the mid-range power. So like if you're in third gear, you're giving it gas, no power, and then when it's get to like, I don't know, 3000 RPM, 4000, that's when the car start pulling, and it just give you all of the power up to like, you know, whatever your car stop like 7000 RPM or 6, it just keep going. So that's the plus side of the M50 intake manifold. But the downside is basically the low end torque. It's there, but not enough to feel like wow, you know, you see a big difference. Maybe it's because I have 200 tread tires, who knows. Maybe because I have 200 tread tires on the car, it doesn't spin the tires when I want it to. So that's the downside of the M50 intake manifold. I also when I install the M50 intake manifold, I also have the Seam Legit intake conversion kit. That's the easiest way to install it. So I use them. And as far as the catch can, I have a Seam Legit AN fitting that I put onto the valve cover, and I run the line from that straight to a catch can and here vent the rest. I don't have a return going to it. As far as oil pressure gauge and oil temp, I got it from BMW. Oil pressure gauge sensor adapter. You can buy it from them. You put it onto the car, and you can just run your oil sensor. As far as the coil packs, I have Dynon coil packs. I got a header on the car, some eBay headers, so I put it's on there. I did upgraded thermostat. So the upgraded thermostat I has is basically open earlier to, you know, so I think it opened at 175 degrees, the coolant, and then it starts moving around. The newer cars, you can just put it in a tune, and you tell the tune to open up earlier. But because this is mechanical, it opened by itself. As far as the radiator goes, I upgraded the radiator to a CSF radiator. It's the plastic one, not the aluminum one. It works pretty well. As far as the fan, I got rid of the OEM fans and I put electronic fans on the car. So that's the fans I use. As far as the tuning goes though, I use RevMatch. These guys are pretty good. Actually, they're awesome to work with. They're the one that tune the car. They're awesome. Check them out. The car run great. I have no problem. They actually tune the car on 102 sensor. It's that crazy, right? So I just block off all the other O2 sensors on the header. Just one, and the car run pretty good. Anyway, I have an intake, a RAM intake. I have the spark plugs I use is basically NGK spark plugs, and what else I have? I also have a Hard Motorsport EGR delete plate. You know, it's good to have that because you don't really need that if you're gonna race the car or whatever. As far as starvation for oil, because you know when you go on the track, the oil tends to go all over the place. So I have a oil baffle that I put in the oil pan. I got that from BMW as well. I also get the oil pump secure nut kit. So it's like a wire that goes through the oil pan, and a wire that goes to the oil pan nut, and you get to wrap it on there so it doesn't back out, because you know these cars, when you run them so high RPM, that bolt tend to back out. I believe they fixed that on the E90 now, the newer cars. Anyway, as far as fuel starvation, so when you're driving E46 on the track, once you go below half tank, so when you're going around like Road Atlanta, especially Road Atlanta, turn 1, you go on turn 1 and you start going up. Once you under half tank of gas, the car cut power immediately and then come back in. So to avoid that, BMW, they sell low pressure fuel pump starvation kit. You put it in the car, you basically put it in the other side of the tank and attach it so I can run my car down to E. Gas light comes on, I will still run and the car doesn't starve for gas. So that's a great upgrade if you tracking your E46 on the track or drifting. Either way, it's pretty good. Engine mounts. I use the M3 engine mount, the OEM, because to me it's just as good as any other one. Heater core. So I delete, losing weight of the car, I delete the heater core. So I got a plate that covers that big hole. Once you take out the heater core out the car, you're gonna have a big hole in your engine bay. So I got the plate from BMW. They also sell it. Most of the stuff that I'm seeing right now, you can get it off BMW. Same as the heater core block off plate. That helps big time. So you're gonna need a heater core block off plate. So because when you take out the heater core, you're gonna have the hose that circulate the coolant. You're gonna need something to block that off. As far as the liquid I put in the car, as oil or all the liquid for the diff, I use Redline all day. Especially when you're tracking the car. On the street, you use whatever, but if you're gonna track your car a lot, use Redline because the oil gets so hot and you need oil that can take, especially natural aspirated cars, you need an oil that can take heat. And to me, Redline is good. All right, so let's talk about the interior, what I did to the interior. So I got the entire car out, ripped everything out. I did basically I took out the seat belt, sound denting, heater core, the seats, the carpets, the headliner, speakers. I ripped everything out the car, like everything. So far I got the racing seats, sub belt. I think I'm pronouncing it. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but sub belt racing seats. I have the 5-point harness. Okay, so when it comes to, I don't care what you're doing. If it comes to drag racing, drifting, or circuit racing, please guys, run 5-point harness or 6-point. That's it. Don't be playing with these 4-point harness. Nah. Always run 5-point harness or 6, because the last thing you want is when the car, if you get in a bad accident, you'll basically slide under because the fifth one is go through your between your legs, and that's what stops you from sliding under and going somewhere else. So 5-point harness, 6-point, nothing else. Forget about the 4-point harness. Anyway, as far as the 4-point cage I have a Kirk Racing 4-point half cage. When you're doing time attack or DE, like weekend driving or any performance driving, as far as on the track, go with a 4-point roll cage. The harness bars, they are cool, but God forbid if you get in an accident and you do a rollover, that is where you need a 4-point cage. So it stops the car from collapsing when you flip over. So very important, especially if you're doing track racing pretty seriously, especially time attack, or if you're just doing HPD weekends and you have a dedicated car that you're going to use for the track. Highly recommend doing a 4-point cage. As far as sunroof, I did the sunroof. It was around 40 pounds in total, I believe. And I get the delete kit for the sunroof. I believe I got it from BMW. You can check BMW, they have it. weigh at least less than £2. You save around £40 on top of the car. So the car feel more planted once you get rid of that weight on the top. The steering wheel quick release. I got the NRG steering wheel quick release. You can get that off Amazon. They're pretty cheap. And they're pretty good too. They're cheap, but they're good. You know, I'd be trusting the other ones that, yeah, let's get NGR. They're pretty good. Or if you can get the better ones, go right ahead. The radio and AC block off plate. I got that. Once you take out the stuff from the engine bay, you're gonna want that to block off the radio, because I took my radio out. So as you can see, I have a plate there. You can get it from BMW, and this is where I put my gauge, like my oil temp gauge, my oil pressure gauge, and I have the switch for the fan. Door cards. So when I take off the door panels, they weigh, I forgot how much they weigh. I think it's like £13 per door with speakers, I believe. So I replaced that with hard motorsports door panels. Looks pretty cool. Weigh like £2 or something like that. So I just didn't want a big hole there while I'm driving. So as far as the shifter goes that I have, I got it from Cool Works shifter. I believe I got it from who I got that thing from? Jiff HQ. There we go. It's Jiff HQ. That's where I bought it from. And anytime you track in your car, always have a fire extinguisher in your car. Doesn't matter if it's a small one, big one, whatever. Because the last thing you want to do is spend all that money. God forbid the car caught a fire, oil touched something and it caught a fire. You don't want all of that go to smokes, so you always have a fire extinguisher on your car. Alright, so let's talk about the exterior now, like a hood vent. Normally you don't need to buy a carbon fiber hood. I just use the normal hood, and I cut out the, I kind of skin it a bit and I make a vent. And the vent that I use called track spec hood vent. Pretty good. Why you need a hood vent? When you're tracking your car, on the street you don't really need it. Don't even waste your time putting a hood vent for street uses, because 9 times out of 10, all the parts that are in your car, like the coilovers, go fast bits, all of those things, you're basically gonna use it probably 10% of the time on the street. You're never gonna maximize all the potential of all those mod parts you put on your car. It's like 10%, maybe less. When you go to the track though, that's when you use all of it. And when you tracking your car on the track, your car gets really hot, especially underneath the hood. And when you have the hood vent, depends on where you put it, it have a low pressure and a high pressure zone. So when the air go through the radiator, it shot right through the vent, and you keep the engine bay cool and also keep the car cool. So hood vents, very important when you're tracking your car. If you're not tracking your car, you don't need it. Unless you're running like super big power and you just like the looks. Anyway, for the E46, they have a lot of weak points to the chassis. So I get a bunch of reinforcement plates. Like, I bought some coilovers from ECS Tuning. You know, I was going in on a slight budget, so I ended up bought the coilovers from ECS Tuning, and come to find out, don't tell anyone, but in my opinion, I think it's BC's coilovers with their name on it, to be honest with you. That's just me, but I could be wrong. Anyway, they're pretty good. So if you want a budget coilovers for E46, go with ECS Tuning. Pretty good. It's a bit cheaper than BC's. Don't get me wrong, all my cars got BC's. I love BC's. BC's are great. But I was very surprised when I put the coilovers from ECS Tuning on the car, and it does pretty well. So I got the coilovers from ECS Tuning with the camber plate on top. I also get the reinforcement plate. So for some reason, E46, their towers is kind of weak. So when you put the coilovers in the car, I have a plate, reinforcement plate that go over the coilovers, and you put it inside the tower. All 4 corners, rear and front. You can get the reinforcement plate from BMW. They sell that there. Everything I'm saying again, most of it you can get from BMW. What else? As far as brakes, do I have big brakes on the car? No. Do you need big brakes in the car? No. All the spec E46 guys, they run stock 330 calipers and performance rotors. You can get cheap rotors or decent rotors or OEM rotors. Always go with OEM rotors. And all they do is change your brake fluids, right? Because you always want to do that, because if you don't change your brake fluids when you're on the track, what it is, when you use .4 normal brake fluid, when you're on the track, the car get really hot, like really hot, and those brake fluid, you start boiling. Once you start boiling, when you're pressing brake, especially again road Atlanta, especially when you're coming from turn 7, driving to turn 10, and you're going really fast. We're talking about 100 miles per hour, 125, and if that brake fluid boil and you press your brake, this is your brake. This is your foot. You press it and then go to the floor and the car is not stopping. So this is why you get performance brake fluid. It has high temp, so you can take the heat. So you always have brake pressure and you always can stop the car. So you want to change those out and also get the brake lines. You want to change all 4 brake lines, but definitely you want to change the front. If you don't change all 4, make sure to change the front, because to stainless steel, you can get it from BMW as well, or ECS tuning. So these parts you can get from both companies, ECS tuning or BMW. You can go somewhere else as well, but you can shop around. Get it where you can get it. But I got the brake lines from BMW, and the reason why you want to do that, because the rubber from OEM, they're good. They last forever, but when your car has so much mileage on there, because 9 times out of 10, when you buy these E46 BMWs, they're over 100,000 miles, they're over 150, they're probably like 200, so, and you're going to be racing them anyway. So it's best to change out those lines, because last thing you want is to it burst on you and then you have no brakes. Anyway, brake pads. What do I use for brake pads? I use Hark DTC 60 Hawk pads brake. I use it for the front, and for the back I use 30. So these DTC 60s for the front brake pads, OEM style brake pads, but high temp. And then Hark DTC 30s for the back, OEM style. So you're using an OEM caliper and you're putting those brake pads in there and change your brake fluid and you're good to go. I promise you, that car gonna stop so hard. You just watch your face from the steering wheel, because it's gonna stop so hard that your face hit the steering wheel very strong. So you don't need no big brake hit. You can get big brake hit if you want, because big brake hit, what it does is basically it saves your brake pads from burning fast, because the bigger it is, it's better cooling. So I'm more surface for the brake to clamp in force, but it's more for cooling in my opinion. Or if you're running a heavy car, say you're running a heavy car and very high horsepower, that's where big brake kits comes in, because big brake kits, it's big, more clamping force, and you can stop all that weight plus cooling. That's my opinion when it comes to big brake kits. But for the E46, because once you got those cars, they get pretty light, so you don't really need to get big brakes. Anyway, the transmission that's in the car. When I bought the car, it was a 325. I took out the 325 engine and I put a 330 engine in there, and I also changed out all the the calipers. Actually, I just changed the front to a 330 because the 330 calipers is bigger than the 325 calipers. So that's what I did. The transmission was a Get-Rags transmission that was in the car originally. I ended up buying a ZF 5-speed transmission and put it in there with the clutch, stage 1 clutch, and lightweight flywheel. You can get that from BMW. BMW have it on their site. You can get it from there. It's very noisy though. I can tell you that. It's noisy as hell, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good, but it's noisy. A lot of chatter noise, I guess. Also, I upgraded the transmission mounts to solid mounts. You feel the entire vibration to the car. So I'm not sure if you want to get solid. You probably want to get one with bushings so you don't feel the vibration because you're definitely gonna feel a vibration. But the car very raw once you change out all the bushings, because I did change out all the control arms. I change out especially the front control arms. I get it from BMW. So you have the factory control arms and the control arms that bolt onto the car. You take out the OEM. I think I have it here. Where is that? You call track cab control arms. You can get it from BMW. You put that on there, and I promise you, the car gonna feel so raw and so directive. When you turn, it just turn. You feel everything on the road, and the car feels so precise. So I will definitely, that's a big upgrade when it comes to the control arms. All right, guys. So as far, like I said to you before, this was a 325, and I did the swap, the 330 swap. I did the transmission, and because I have the get rog and it was a 325, the diff that in the car comes with a 3.15 gear ratio. So I end up taking out that differential, and I got an automatic one that's a 3.46. The reason why I upgrade to the 3.46, it's a short ratio. Basically, the gears are very short, and it's a lot more torque. It's more torqueier. The 3.15, the gear ratio is very long, so you'll be in third gear forever. You'll be just gear forever. Yeah, it's long gears. So I like the short gears. It's like an in-between. It's not too short and it's not too long. Just right. Like like the E46, it just run through the gears, like all of it just run through the gears pretty quickly. A lot of times I'm like, yo, it sounds like I'm in third gear, but I'm not. I already finished out fifth gear, because your car only have fifth gear. And sometimes I'm on the track, I'm in fifth gear, I'm like, damn, I need the next gear, but that's it. Fifth gear is done. That's how fast the car revved out. Anyway, I have an LSD in the car as well. I bought Elica LSD. That's what's in the car. It's pretty good. It spin both tires. The grip is crazy once you put the LSD in the car. So that's what I have in the car. And the fluid that I have in the diff is also from Redline. So Redline, you want Redline for the transmission, Redline for the diff, Redline for the engine oil. Redline throughout the car if you're gonna track that car very hardly. What else? The tires and rim on the car. So I'm a big fan of Falcons. I have Falcon 615 plus on the car. It got a 255 40 17s, and I have the Apex 17x9 rim. In my opinion, the E46, I believe the 17x9 with the 255 40 17 is a perfect fit for the E46. I believe that's what the spec E46 guys run. You don't need no 18. Do not put 18 in your car. Stick to 17x9 with 255 40 17. Perfect. It's flush. It's pretty good. That's the perfect setup in my opinion. And I have a 3-inch custom exhaust going throughout the car. And basically, as far as what else I have here, the M3 bumper. The reason why you want to use the M3 bumper is because it have better ventilation, so the wind can go through your radiator better. And if you have brake ducts, you can put brake ducts on your car, and where the fog light goes where the brake duct goes, and it goes straight to your brakes. You can get those from BMW as well. And I think that's it, guys. I'm not sure if I go through all of it, but I got aesthetic stuff on the car, like the diffuser. What else? Side skirts. They don't really do anything, but they look good. And as far as how much my car weigh 2760 without driver. So 2,760 pounds. That's how much that car weighs. And I want to say that car makes anywhere from 260 to 220 wheel. So it's pretty fast. It's like, if I was gonna guess, I want to say it's equivalent to a 300 horsepower car, close to a 300 horsepower car. So, yeah. So I think I think that's all the stuff I did to the car, because a lot of you guys asked me questions about the car and whatnot. So this is what I have. So what I have plans for the car, since I'm trying to turn my E92 to a track car, in my opinion, I think the E92 is basically a re-version of a E46. So if you guys looking to get a modern BMW, I would go for the E90, because it's basically E46 just better. Because when I drive the E92, I feel like I'm driving the E46, just better. You know, you don't have to worry about the reinforcement plates and all that stuff, because the E90 and E92 already fixed that problem. It's just a bit heavier. That's the only problem with the E90s. They're a bit heavier than E46, but you can gut them as much as you can to get them lighter. Well, not lighter, light as the E46. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, and I'll definitely answer those. And then, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. So, I'll talk to you guys later.